All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about crosshatching, a different method of shading than what we've already been doing. So now our traditional shading, again, we're holding a pencil like this, and we would lightly use the side of our pencil, and we would apply a little more pressure, and that's how we were shading, right? We would go from light to dark. We would maybe move my hand up and get a little bit darker. I make little circles so that we don't see the pencil stroke, just like we did our forms and our grayscale, just like that. Okay, but the difference is with cross hatching, you want to see your pencil stroke. It's going to be obvious, but how you do it is important. So let's start off. I'm going to just do a cube right here. If you have a straight edge or a ruler, I would use that instead of just freehanding it like I'm doing it. But if you don't, just do your best to freehand it, okay? So I'm going to draw a little cube. And then I am going to shade it using a cross-hatching method, okay? Okay, there's my cube. And I'm going to extend it this way to make my shadow. Which means that this is going to be my dark side. So I'm going to start shading my darker side first. So I like to follow the form. Now what that means is that your cross-hatching lines should either go exactly like your vertical lines are going or how your horizontal lines are going. So I'm just going to use a series of straight lines. I'm going to take my time, try to space them, somewhat evenly. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side for now, because this side is also going to have some shadow, but it won't be as dark as the back. So I'm just going to do some straight lines straight up and down, following the form. Okay. I'm going to also do that for here, for my cast shadow. Okay, following the form. Now, I want my cast shadow and my back to be darker than the side. I'm going to rotate my paper. I like to do that. I think it's a good idea. And I'm going to cross my lines. That's where the whole cross hatching comes from. I'm sure most of you already know this, but maybe seeing things like the way I do it or rotating the paper is going to make it ring more true. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm going to make my cast shadow a little darker. Now this can make you don't have to worry so much about pencil stroke. It could have a nice stylized effect, especially if you're using it inside of a, you can see a lot of comic book artists do this. So that's basic cross hatching. Now I'm going to go to a diagonal line for the back now because I want this to be even darker. Okay. Now when you get to curved objects, like I'm going to do in a second, it gets a little more difficult. Now there's my cube done in cross hatching.